But let me jump in on one point you made there. Where are the attorneys? Where is the American Bar Association?
It's embarrassing.
You know as well as I do that a lot of these lawyers that have stepped up have been threatened to be blackballed. You'll never work again. We're gonna smear you. We're gonna destroy you as an attorney. And people like yourself just being here on this program. Well, look, he's a far right white supremacist. He's a whack job. I mean, that's the smear job. But then the threat of a blackball, of being disbarred in whatever state you're in because of some made-up nonsense. And this has happened. Lawyers are threatened with their livelihood if they participate in protecting and defending January 6th participants, right?
Well, exactly, Steve. We have to fight and work hard to get money to pay lawyers who are, you're right, risking their practice. You know, I worked for Phyllis Schlafly, the late Phyllis Schlafly. She set up our organization. I don't owe anybody anything. I don't need anybody. I can do this because we can be fearless and run towards the bullets. But you're exactly right. Look, here's a bit of news, Steve. I filed a bar complaint against Adam Schiff in California, the California bar, and I researched it. And I said, look, this guy's lied in public. He's done this and that. If you're going to go and put Professor Eastman on trial in the California bar to take away his bar license for having a legal argument, you ought to take up Schiff, but they don't do it, to your point. But look, hypocrisy at this point is not a distinguishing characteristic of the ruling regime. They do it all the time. The question is, what are we going to do to fight back? And what I say more and more is we've got to have leaders rise up that are willing to stand up to this at every level. That, by the way, there are guys charged in different states where their state attorneys general could play a role, at least enforcing the due process rights that are required, if not more. So it's and I believe this is a pivot in history. If we don't reclaim January 6th and make clear what happened, we're going to be stuck with it, and they're going to say that was the insurrection, and here's why we're cracking down on voices, on lawyers, on the opposition because of that. And we're at risk to lose that. So that's why we're fighting so hard.
Well, and they're also, look, they set aside constitutional rights during the pandemic. They want to declare a health emergency over guns. They want to declare a national or international emergency over climate change. It's all a push towards eliminating the American Constitution. The envy of the world is the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. The right to gather, the right to protest your government is protected. It's sealed in the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. They want to destroy that. They don't want the Second Amendment, obviously. The constitutional protections enshrined in 1776 and then at the Continental Congress, they don't want at all.
Right.
Ever, right? I mean, that's where we are, Ed. They want to get rid of all of that because it's a nuisance to their power.
Exactly. You're exactly right. But how they're doing it, and this phrase I use a lot, Steve, to have your listeners, I hope they're aware of it. I bet they are. Lawfare. They're using the legal system against we the people. It used to be we'd say, oh, they're over-regulating our businesses and stifling us. No. Now they're indicting our people and ignoring their people. And two things happen. One, our people are going to court and to jail sometimes. The other thing is pretty quickly the public says, the game is rigged. I'm not going to buy into that system. In banana republics, people don't buy into the legal system because they know it's rigged. But here's the good news,
Ed. The good news is this. A lot of these cases filed by people like you have gone to court, and you win oftentimes.
Sometimes.
And that's the point. Fight like a Democrat. I say that on this program over and over again. We have to fight like Democrats. Use the same weapons, the same methodology, the same approach that they use to win victories in court, whether it's in this case or against the Environmental Protection Agency or freedom of speech cases, whatever it is. Fight back and use the same tools available to the other side the way they do. Right or wrong?
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. The only caution I would say is in this experience in January 6th, so I would say that caution, I agree with you in every way. We ought to have groups that attack them like they attack us. We ought to go to fight them in every way. In this case, what I've seen in D.C. is such a biased jury pool. In some ways, they got more sophisticated. The judges are biased, the prosecutors are biased, and the jury pool is biased. Once you have that hammerlock, and you're in a situation, the odds have changed dramatically. Look, Donald Trump is living this. So the court, the ruling yesterday, the judge's ruling, you say, how can a judge do that? More and more we're seeing shameless actions by our legal system in a political manner than we've ever seen before.
Absolutely true.